I have a question. Jealousy and competition is different, right? If somebody does good, I want to do like that. That's not a jealousy, right?
Well, they're a little related. So, we're talking about these four basic emotions, anger, grasping, pride, jealousy. But there's a lot of variations to them, and subtleties, like you're saying, a sense of competition. Competition, I think that's probably a relative of jealousy. So it's kind of in the same field. You could try these same techniques when you're feeling that. Yeah. Because basically when you're feeling competitive, you're also feeling like, well, this person's better, or they got something that you didn't, and why don't I have that? So I think it's fairly similar.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, I came from big family and always I want to be like my sister, she did this, or they want to be like me. And it was not bad feeling. We didn't have bad feeling. I didn't, at least.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's positive because it encourages you to do better, right?
Yeah.
You see your sister's doing better. You think, oh, I'm going to try harder so I can be like her. So that's kind of the positive quality of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to expand.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, often in large families you have that, But in a way it's a gift, because then we learn how to work with other people, right, in the world too.
Yeah.
Anyone else have something they'd like to share?
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
For the H, in breath, for the helping, is it necessarily to help that person with whom you feel that negative energy?
No, not really. It's just, you could put the helpfulness towards that person, or you could just put it towards yourself if you need some help, to feel more positive about yourself, or just even maybe helping someone who's not necessarily part of that dynamic. It's just it's an attitude of doing something positive, helpful with your life, with yourself. And that breath analogy, I just made that up. But I was trying to think, well, what is the process that we go through? And I think the most important thing is to take a breath and put a little space in between your emotion and your thoughts and your actions. So those were just other positive things I thought are helpful for me, when I'm trying to deal with a situation like this, and I thought maybe could be helpful for other people too.
So I have a question.
Okay.
What happens if you are trying to be proactive and you're trying to be coming from a place of loving kindness, and the other person is having an anxiety attack or a depression, severe depression, and they are at a place where they say, I hate you, or I don't want you, and please leave or do that. What are we supposed to do then? Do we leave the scene, or do we continue to comfort them and continue to, what would you recommend?
Right. Well, that's a good question. Often we do get in a situation where it's not just a simple, it's not just somebody, saying a nasty comment to us, but something more serious, like you're mentioning. I think what you can do in that situation is just do the best you can. So first of all, take a breath, stop for a moment, don't take it personally, that they're maybe lashing out at you. And then, I've kind of found that sometimes when I'm in a situation where it's charged and there's a lot of anger, if you can just be kind and, compassionate and kind of caring towards and listening to what the other person has to say rather than immediately reacting against it. If you stop and say, oh, that's kind of interesting that you said that, or, you know, what made you want to say that, or try to be caring and compassionate to the other person. Sometimes that can really diffuse the anger. And, you know, not always. And, you know, maybe, especially if someone's being, you know, kind of dangerous, you might need to just take yourself out of the situation. But as much as you can, rather than reacting with anger toward when you have anger aimed at you, that usually really does not work from my experience, you know, of personally in interaction, or it's what I've seen. But if one person can kind of stop the kind of anger machine and turn it into a more caring, more listening, more reflective attitude, it can sometimes really change the energy for both people. So,
Thank you.
yeah, that would be my comment. So we have a few more minutes left. If anyone has any further questions or comments they'd like to share with us.
What is the best way to deal with injustice in the world? Is it better to meditate and transform from within, or is it better to protest in the streets or in any way that you can, or is it a combination of the two?
Yeah, I would say in general, probably a combination of working on yourself, you know, maybe from the spiritual traditions, they say that that's the most important thing you can do, because if you can't kind of tame your own demons or, you know, solve your own issues, it's hard to help others. But also, you know, in Buddhism, we talk about wisdom and compassion, that we develop our wisdom through our practice, but then we're naturally inclined to act with compassion. So that's the more active quality. So I would say, you know, once we kind of work on ourselves and maybe really examine what we think injustice means and why we think it exists and how we think it can be helped, then we can do some action. And I think it's important to think carefully about how you do make your actions. You know, with the protests, you know, maybe to you that seems like the best thing you can do, and maybe it is. But maybe there's also other things you can do. Maybe you try to help make legislation that changes things. Maybe you, in the company you work for, maybe you make an effort to have more affirmative action, or, you know, different hiring policies, things like that. So there's this wide range of things we can do when we see injustice. So yeah, I think, like you said, both are important.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. It's not an easy one.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a very nice session. I feel very calm and feel energy, you know, just feel good. Thank you so much.
Good, thank you.
I joined first time. It was very good, very calming.
Good.
Very peaceful, inner peace.
Good. And, you know, these are very simple practices, so, you know, you can do them on your own too. You don't really need guidance for it. You just do it whenever you have some time.
Is it like a Tai Chi practice or different?
Well, we call it Kumne, which is kind of Tibetan. Kumne. It's Tibetan style yoga. And it's mostly designed to help us meditate more easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got a lot of compliments for you, Rosalind.
Oh,
Flowing with how people are feeling calmer, happier, cheerful.
Good. Those are good signs. When you're feeling that way, you should remind yourself, yeah, this is how I should be feeling.
One comment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying the imagery of the colors and the light. It's just very powerful to envision those colors, and especially the white light.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Good. Good. Yeah, of course we have the left brain and the right brain, and most of us, in modern Western life, we're, using so much the left brain, all the concepts and the words. But if we can get in touch with that more intuitive side, sometimes it has a way of really helping heal us. So, sometimes even like, if we can just get out in nature, I know it's not so easy nowadays, but and experience the sensual quality of the air and the colors, it can just sort of help ground us and kind of calm us down. So I know in modern life we kind of forget about that. We're always checking our phones and our screens and everything, but if we can just kind of get in touch with the natural world, with the colors, the shapes, the forms, it can sometimes really help calm us down. So
this may
I
sound silly.
agree.
Oh, good. But I know you're out in, I think, Marin.
We're in Sonoma County. Uh-huh.
Or I'm sorry, Sonoma County. Just today, there was something about the light today outside, and I don't know why. It just was very powerful today.
Yeah. Sometimes with depending on where how the clouds are in the sky or the overcast or whatever, or I think also the time of year too. Of course, with the sun moving more towards, moving more towards north, and of course we just had the summer equinox. So
right.
That was I think that's the longest day of the year. So maybe what you're experiencing too.
Yes. So it was great that you were talking about color. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bhavani, you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, namaste to everybody. Thank you. And it's a very good session. I really appreciate it. And after all this, I'm feeling that beautiful nature is the best teacher and best doctor. With trees, plants, flowers, and things like that.
Yeah, it can really help, especially during these troubling times we are in now.
A lot. That's what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, I know when I'm out in the garden doing some weeding, it's like my favorite thing to do these days.
Sunrise and sunset definitely helps. It's what a beautiful things around us.
Yeah.
And each and everyone we should feel for it and enjoy and share with someone else if possible.